So you're thinking about moving your family to Mooresville, North Carolina. Smart. You've seen the gorgeous photos of boats on Lake Norman. You've heard people raving about the schools, and you're picturing that perfect life. Small town vibe, but still close to everything. It honestly seems like the ideal place to plant some roots. But before you call the movers, let's have a real conversation, like we're sitting at a coffee shop. I want to talk about the things that glossy relocation guides don't show you. These are the hard truths, the daily frustrations that no one really talks about until you're already here. And they're the kind of things that could make you rethink your entire plan. But my name is Brian Quick, and I'm a local real estate agent right here in the Lake Norman area. I have helped hundreds of families, many of them just like you, find their way to Mooresville. I've seen the dreaming moves, but I've also seen the ones that came with some serious, unexpected headaches. So my goal today isn't to sell you a house, okay? It's to give you the unvarnished truth. I'm counting down the top reasons you might want to pump the brakes on moving to Mooresville, at least until you've heard this. All right, let's just get this one out of the way. The number one complaint from anyone who lives here is the traffic, specifically Interstate 77. It's less of a highway and more like the region's main artery, and during rush hour, it's severely clogged. This isn't your average big city rush hour. It's a special kind of misery that locals deal with every single day. For a family, it's more than a simple annoyance. It can completely dictate your schedule. Picture this. You land a great job in Charlotte, which is only about 27 miles south, on a map that looks totally doable. On a good day with no traffic, you might make it in 35 to 40 minutes. But during your actual commute, think 7:30 to 9 in the morning or 4:30 to 6:30 at night. That drive can easily become an hour and a half, or more. We're talking about frequent accidents that cause major backups and long delays. Now, think about what that does to your family's life. It means leaving home before the sun is up. It means that the heart-pounding stress of trying to get to daycare before they charge you a late fee. It means you're missing the kickoff of your kid's soccer game because you're trapped in gridlock. The I-77 express lanes were built to help, but they use dynamic pricing. Think of it like surge pricing for an Uber. The more desperate people are to get there, the more expensive your trip becomes, which isn't a realistic daily option for many family budgets. And this isn't just an interstate problem. When the main river is dammed, all the smaller streams back up. That's what happens here. Local roads like Bradley School Road, Williamson Road, and NC 150 are constantly choked with traffic, especially on weekends. The town is building new roads like the East-West Connector to help, but that's a long-term fix that's causing its own construction delays right now. So while there's light at the end of the tunnel, it's a very, very long tunnel. The pro tip here is to be incredibly strategic about where you live. If you work from home, I-77 might not be a deal breaker. But if you have a daily commute to Charlotte, you have to be honest with yourself and factor in that extra 10 to 15 hours of windshield time every single week. You've probably heard that North Carolina is an affordable place to live, and for a long time, that was a huge draw for Mooresville. Well, the secret is out, and the demand for Lake Norman lifestyle has set housing prices soaring, and it can be a real shock for families moving here. So I want to talk real numbers for a second. As of mid-2026, the median sale price for a home in Mooresville is bouncing around the 500s to the mid to low 700s, depending on the data source. The median list price is often even higher in the 600,000s to mid 800,000 range. And that dream house on the lake, you're easily looking at a starting price of over $1 million. While you might still find a home for less than in some prime Charlotte neighborhoods, the idea of Mooresville being like a bargain is like looking at a restaurant menu from 5 years ago. The prices have changed. The competition is what really gets people. The market is still competitive, and trying to get a great home in a top school zone feels less like shopping and more like trying to win an auction for a limited edition collectible. It's not just the sticker price either. You've got to factor in property taxes and homeowners insurance, which all add up. Now, beyond your mortgage, the general cost of living here is creeping up a bit too. While some sources say it's below the national average, others point out that expenses for families are rising. You're not just moving to a suburb, you're moving to a premier lifestyle destination centered around a lake, and you're paying a premium for that access. Mooresville is booming. On one hand, that's great, right? New businesses, new energy. But on the other hand, the town is like a teenager who shot up 6 inches overnight. The infrastructure is the pair of high water pants it's still struggling to wear. This explosive growth has put a massive strain on the town, and families are the first to feel it. We already covered the roads. Let's go a little deeper. Let's talk about the schools. The Mooresville Graded School District, or MGSD, is a massive draw. It consistently gets A minuses or A ratings from sites like Niche and is ranked as one of the best in North Carolina. However, with so many new families moving in, some schools are definitely feeling the squeeze with growing class sizes. The student to teacher ratio is still good. It's around 16:1 according to recent data. But be aware that school capacity is a real issue. This can also lead to rezoning. So the elementary school you bought your house for might not be where your kid ends up a few years down the line. You'll feel this strain in other places too. Your favorite park is a little more crowded on Saturdays. Getting a building permit takes a bit longer. There's a general sense that the town is playing catch up with its own success. Now, and here's the big one. Outside of the cute, historic downtown, Mooresville is a town built for cars. It's not walkable. Think of it as a series of islands. Your house is one, the grocery store is another, the park is a third, and your car is the only boat you have to get between them. You'll be driving everywhere with very limited public transportation. Having one or even two cars is a non-negotiable for families. This car dependency just feeds back into the traffic problems and adds another line item to the family budget. Okay, now that I've hit you with traffic, high cost, and crowded schools, you're probably wondering if I'm trying to talk you out of moving here. I promise you, I'm not. I want to be crystal clear. Mooresville is an incredible place to live for the right family, and for the family that goes in with their eyes wide open. The people who love it here are the ones who were prepared for these challenges. They knew what they were getting into before moving here. Finding a home that shortens your commute, fits your budget, and lands you in the perfect school zone is a tough puzzle to solve. But that's where having someone like me on your side changes the game. So if you're trying to sort through all this and figure out if Mooresville is the right move for your family, all my contact information is right here on the screen. My team and I get calls and texts every single day from people just like you, and I absolutely love it. I'm here to be your boots on the ground and help you make a smart decision. So you may be asking, if there are so many hurdles, why are families still flocking to Mooresville? Because for every downside, there's an upside that is just as powerful. First and foremost, the Lake Norman lifestyle. You can't overstate this. The lake isn't just a feature of the town. It's the entire operating system for life here. Having a massive lake with 520 miles of shoreline in your backyard defines life here. It means your weekends are for boating, kayaking, fishing, or just chilling. It means pulling up to a waterfront restaurant by boat for dinner. For families, it means beach days at Lake Norman State Park or picnics by the water. It creates this permanent vacation vibe that you just can't find in a normal landlocked suburb. This lifestyle is the number one reason people are willing to sit in that traffic. Second, the schools really are that good. As I mentioned, the Mooresville Graded School District is an A-rated district and is consistently ranked among the best in the state. Reading and math proficiency scores are well above the state's average, and the district has an outstanding graduation rate of over 95%. Even with the growth, the commitment to providing a top tier education is a cornerstone of this community. My wife is a high school math teacher. I know this. Finally, despite its rapid growth, Mooresville has held on to its strong family-friendly community feel. It's like having a quiet, private backyard for your family, but with a gate that opens directly onto a bustling city street whenever you want it. You've got charming neighborhoods, awesome local festivals, and a real sense of belonging. There's always something to do, whether it's checking out the GoPro Motorplex for the little racing fans or taking a short drive to Discovery Place Kids. It hits that perfect balance of small town atmosphere with all the big city amenities of Charlotte just down the road. When it comes down to it, moving to Mooresville is a trade-off. You're trading some very real growing pains, like the traffic and competitive housing market, for an amazing quality of life, that incredible lake lifestyle, and fantastic schools. Now, knowing about these challenges beforehand is like having a map before you try to navigate the lake in the dark. It's half the battle. It lets you plan, strategize, and set realistic expectations. Mooresville isn't some perfect stress-free paradise, but for the family that values community, outdoor recreation, and great schools, and is willing to plan around the challenges, it gets pretty darn close. Now, if you're ready to start building a smart plan for your move to Mooresville, one that helps you dodge that pitfalls and find that perfect spot for your family, I am here for you. All of my contact information is down in the description, also in this video. Call me, text me, shoot me an email. I would be honored to help you make your move to the Lake Norman area. Lastly, please do not forget to subscribe for more real talk and insider tips about living right here in the Lake Norman area. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.